Island gunmen who forced their way into an Island Park home. Cops say the masked intruders not only pistol whipped a teenager, but also a 6-year-old child. News 12 Long Island's Michael Baldwin has that story.
You have to wonder what kind of man would whack a 6-year-old on the head with a gun. Police say that's exactly what happened during a home invasion in Island Park on Kildare Road just before 11 last night.
Am I okay?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks.
One of the victims indicates she, the 6-year-old, and the 2 other victims are going to be okay. But the ripped up screen, the shattered glass around the door, and the slashed tires out front paint a scary picture. Police say the victim was opening up the door to her residence when 4 men came sneaking up in black masks and had guns and barged their way into her home.
The proceeds that we have removed from the home were a small amount of jewelry, as well as 1 cell phone.
The idea of 4 masked men armed with guns attacking the side door has Kathy Nappy thinking this hits too close to home. You see, she lives in the front of this 2-family house where the attack happened.
I woke up to the sound of screaming. I had no idea what was going on out here.
The home invasion has residents talking like Simone Anderson. She tells me guns, masked men, and 6-year-olds getting attacked is not the neighborhood she lives in.
I mean, we don't really have a lot of that happening around here. It's kind of quiet, you know. You hear the occasional dog barking, but that's about it.
Police are investigating if this was a random or targeted robbery. The assailants are still on the loose. In Island Park, I'm Michael Baldwin, News 12 Long Island.
Michael?
State police say Nancy Bolin has confessed to killing her husband. She has been arraigned and is now facing a slew of charges, including first-degree manslaughter, criminal possession of a weapon, and tampering with physical evidence. What residents describe as a quiet neighborhood in North Belmore was anything but Wednesday night. It took Nancy Bolin just 1 stab to her ex-husband's abdomen that was the killing blow, according to state police.
The victim was stabbed during a domestic incident at their residence.
Walter Bolin died sometime Thursday. Police say Nancy Bolin never called for help and then kept her ex-husband's body in their Walt Offer Road home for nearly a day. Police would not comment on the dispute between the two, but did say there has been a history of domestic violence. Nancy's mother spoke to us briefly.
I didn't know there was a fight.
This story takes another twist as state police tell us Nancy Bolin left her house around 4 a.m. Friday in a car with her ex-husband inside.
The defendant drove around looking for a place to dispose of the victim's body before settling on the Wantor State Parkway bike ramp.
Walter Bolin's body was found by a jogger about 100 feet off the parkway. But how his ex-wife got his body into the car is a mystery. Did she have help? Police wouldn't say, but notice what they did say.
Our investigation is still ongoing. There's currently 1 person under arrest.
Currently 1 person under arrest. This salacious story was all the talk in the neighborhood this morning.
I think that's horrible. It's horrible. It's unbelievable.
It's disturbing. It's just disturbing to hear that anybody would have that much rage that they could do something like that.
All right, state police tell us they were able to identify Walter Bolin through fingerprints. They say this case is still under investigation. In fact, they're asking if you know anything to please give them a call. Their number, they can be reached at 631-756-3390. Remember, all calls are kept anonymous as well. If you missed this number, you can, of course, get it on news12.com. In the newsroom, I'm Michael Baldwin. News 12, Long Island. Yeah, what really happened to Natalie Wood? Police say they have new information that makes them believe that her cause of death may be wrong, and they say her then-husband, Robert Wagner, is not a suspect.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty.
Natalie Wood starred in Hollywood classics like West Side Story and Rebel Without a Cause. Now, 30 years after her death, police are reopening her story, which may have a new ending.
Recently, we have received information which we felt was substantial, enough to make us take another look at this case.
Wood's death in 1981 was ruled an accidental drowning, but many felt something wasn't quite right. It seemed mysterious. Wood was on a yacht called the Splendor with her husband Robert Wagner and actor Christopher Walken. Wood and Wagner reportedly got into a war of words, and then things got quiet.
The argument went to the aft deck, and they argued back there for a little while, and then it became silent.
This is the yacht captain Dennis Darvin. He's coming forward 3 decades after Wood's death to tell his story. While police wouldn't say why they're reopening the case, Darvin has his own theory. He says he and Wagner discussed what they would tell the police before they were interviewed. In fact, he says when Wood went missing, police weren't called for several hours.
And I said to Robert Wagner, I said, well, you know, let's turn on the searchlight to see if we can see her. And he says, no, we don't want to do that right now.
Wood's body was found hours later floating in the waters off Southern California's Santa Catalina Island. Her autopsy revealed dozens of bruises and a blood alcohol level of 0.14. Investigators plan on talking to Darvin, Wagner, and other people there that day.
The case has been assigned to 2 sheriff's homicide investigators who will be following up on the additional information, as well as any other additional information that may develop.
All right, again, Robert Wagner is not a suspect. Through a spokesperson, he says he fully supports the investigation, although he says he questions whether people are trying to just cash in on the 30th anniversary of Natalie Wood's death. Colleen.